In three, two, one, and we're live.
Oh, we are live. We are live.
Coming at you bright and high from the BERN'N BRIDGES podcast studios all the way across the map.
From the East
We
Coast
got your
to the
weekly
West
host
Coast.
in the building.
And you know, me, as myself, per usual, Holiday Birds.
Yep. And on this side, holding it down in Florida, you got Jariel, aka Jafar, aka Jariel Wizard. So
Ooh,
I'm gonna keep my
boy.
promise to everybody who
Two
listens to the
boy.
podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my promise. I'm gonna try every week to extend that until it gets to the point where people are either annoyed by it or maybe they'll start throwing suggestions out there,
Ooh,
whatever the case may be.
throwing suggestions would be
So,
nice. We're always open for
uh-huh.
suggestions. So if you ever think that there's a topic that you want to just hear us talk about, throw it in the comments. We actually read those things.
100%. We read all of it. If you got anything positive you want to tell us, we read that. If you got any negative shit you want to tell us, we definitely read that.
Yeah, I'm a huge
So,
fan of it.
you know,
Just lets me
bring
know
the
how
hate,
well I'm
bring the
doing.
love, 1,000%. How was your day, bud?
Yo, my day's great. Besides this back, this backwood, I'm trying to like hold it away from like my face, and it's just like
Yeah.
just the actual smoke off of it. I don't know. It's just blowing into my nose. And it was like, you ever get smoke up your nose when you don't want it?
You ever tried smelling salt?
You talking about the wake up ammonias, or you talking about the workout smelling salts, which I think is the same thing.
They're the same shit. I'll tell you right now, it's the same fucking thing.
Have you ever seen anybody have to use the smelling salts from passing out?
Yeah.
I seen somebody pee their pants with those things one time.
100%. That shit'll knock your fucking nose hairs back.
Some people use those things to like sniff before they like lift heavy.
Yeah, that's what the bodybuilders do. I'm guessing because maybe it like sends this like rush to your brain that like makes you forget that you're a real person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's kind of like, yeah, what are those things? Like poppers, you know?
Yeah.
You ever seen those things? It's like that little. It's like a little bottle, and it says "Rush," and it says "Not for human consumption."
Yep.
Sniff that thing, whew, get your juices going.
100%. Fucking, you know what I mean? What do they call it? You keister it. You know what I mean? Straight up the butt. Way different.
Yo, this you just smell it. You can't even touch it
but
because it's a chemical. But
oh,
from what
you're
they're
right.
told,
Well,
from what I'm told, it will loosen your butthole.
that that one lady, the psycho nut, she did DMT through her butt.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so the wife of the dude, he was the dude who got busted in the 70s for like the largest acid uh distribution or whatever you want to call it, like acid lab or whatever.
Yeah, you talking about the dude that had like, it was pretty much like a fucking silo, like it was like underground, and
Yep.
like his
And
girl,
he just got out
yeah, his
like a year ago.
girlfriend like took over everything.
Yeah, so she does DMT in the butt. The wild girl.
But how?
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like people put like the alcohol. People put alcohol in their butt. People put like meth in their butt.
Yeah, but I've never heard of anybody like just like ingesting DMT without smoking it or vaporizing it.
Oh yeah, because when you ingest it, it's just ayahuasca. They're the same thing. You know what I mean? Right? Like they are the same thing.
Almost.
You smoke DMT and you drink ayahuasca, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're not the same. One is going to make you puke everywhere and last for like 8 to 12 hours, and one is going to not make you puke everywhere and last for 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. The 20 minutes is a little bit of a. I mean, it could go both ways. I've done really really good DMT, and I've been gone for. I'd say the most has maybe been like 90 minutes of like being like really spaced out. You know what I mean?
It's like that's a long
It's a long time, but it goes by so quick. Like it's amazing how like being in those realms or different like dimensions or whatever you want to call it, when you come back to this reality, you look around and you just feel like, you know what I mean? Like things here don't make near as much sense when you see things over there on that side.
time. It's just like whatever you blast off, and then if you just like put DMT on a blunt, it's like two different things. Like if we've smoked a DMT blunt before, and everything was just kind of like a cartoon.
Yeah, yeah, for
Like
sure.
everything just kind of had like this cartoon overlay to it. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
like you
like,
feel like almost like a video game.
yeah, like that's what it looked like, a
Yeah,
video game with the shittiest graphics. Because
yeah,
like nothing
yeah.
nothing was
Everything's like
straight. Like,
megapixels.
yeah, like nothing was straight. So like the TV like was square, but it was like as if somebody just drew it with a fucking marker.
Yep. I had a guy. I had a buddy, and when he did it for the first time, and this was years ago, but he did it for the first time, and for like 18 minutes, he was doing this number. And so when it was all over with and we were talking, and I was like, yo, you were doing this like crazy Egyptian thing. What was that about? And he was like, nah. What I was doing was I was getting printed onto Kool-Aid jammer packets in a factory. And I was like, what? And he was like, that's where I went. I was in a factory and I was getting printed on the Kool-Aid jammer packet. So every time I did a different thing, I was getting printed on a different packet. And he was like, I did that for 6 months. I was like, dude, you've been gone for like 11 minutes, but that's awesome. Then I did it and I talked to a tree.
The time that we spoke about last time, whenever like me and my buddy were already rolling and eating mushrooms,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was dabbing deep,
Yeah.
like straight out of the Puffco, because it's like
No.
it's that perfect temp, the lowest
Mm-hmm.
temp on the Puffco. Ooh, tell you what,
That sounds awesome, though. I'm not going to lie.
it is, it is.
That sounds real fun. You remember salvia?
Dude, I did salvia 2 times,
Mm-hmm.
and it here's it made me feel like really awkward afterwards. Like not only was like the
Okay.
first time I ever smoked salvia, like I just like kind of was just like laughing and laughing and just felt like I was laughing and I felt really tiny, like really
Mm-hmm.
really tiny, and I was looking at everybody and everybody else was like laughing, and then it just stopped and I looked and I was like, what's so funny? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? We're not laughing. They're like, why y'all laughing at me? They're like, nobody's laughing. Are you okay? And I was like, was I laughing? They're like, no, you were just
Right.
sitting there. And I was like, what? Like, nah, fuck this, dude. Like, I don't. And I just felt really awkward afterwards. And then I did it again. It, and fucking, whenever I lived in St. Pete with fucking Iron Matt and all
Mm-hmm.
them, and we were at Iron Matt's house, and he was like, "Yo, I got the strongest salvia. It was like 20x or 18x or whatever it was. It was like the strongest, dude."
Yeah.
And that shit, I took like a big rip off of it, and as soon as I blew it out, I blew myself into the TV, and I was like in the TV, like watching everybody around me. Like I was
Oh.
trapped in the fucking TV. Like once again, I was small.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, like in a TV. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, I was like, yo, and they were like, how'd it make you feel? And I was like, yo, this shit sucks, dude. I don't like this. They're like, did it fuck you up? I was like, bro, I was just stuck in a TV.
Right. Like, did it fuck me
And
up?
then nobody else wanted to do it. They were like, I'm not doing that. I was like, oh, glad I could be the
Oh, that's
fucking
how it
guinea
goes.
pig per usual. They would always be like, oh,
That's how it goes.
let's see if Holiday will do it. If Holiday will do it, then it'll be all right.
People suck.
Yeah, but also we were all young and fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah, for sure. What was, and I know this, but for the people who don't know this, what was your first experience with marijuana? I feel like we should we should lay a foundation for people to understand where we came from.
Okay, so I was 9, 10 years old. How old are
Uh-huh.
you in the fourth grade?
In fourth grade, I would say about 9 or 10 in the fourth
Yeah,
grade, depending on when you're born, like what side of the year you're born.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like 9 or 10. We had just got out of school, and then
Hmm.
I was with my sister, her 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 boyfriend at the time, her boyfriend's cousin, and their other cousin.
Okay.
So
Riding deep.
yeah, well, we were riding bikes, so of course at this time we
Okay.
were riding bikes around the neighborhood. So of course
Yeah. Stranger
one
Things.
of the parents weren't home. We went over to this kid's house, and I just remember like us being out back, just standing out back of this kid's house, and like one of the homies had a toilet paper roll and a
Okay.
socket. Like he had got the socket out of his dad's tool thing, and then they poked a
Mm-hmm.
hole in the toilet paper roll, put the weed in the socket, and they were lighting and hit it. They were just like, and I was like, "What are y'all doing?" And my sister's like, "We're smoking. You want to smoke?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care." And at that time, like when I was a kid, like my parents would like, pass out, fall asleep, and leave us out back with fires because they would just like party with their friends, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
we would take grass, right? We would take like grass and like roll it up and like smoke grass, and like
Right.
we would take their cigarettes because at that time, like you smoked in the house. It was the '90s. Everybody smoked in the
Oh,
house,
100%.
so
Yeah.
we would like
Everybody smelled like
yeah,
cigarettes all the time.
we would go in there and like take their cigarettes and smoke their cigarettes while they were passed out. But then, like, dude, the first time I smoked weed, I hit that, and like, because of course I have ADHD as a kid, that shit
Now,
was
what you described that you smoked out of, we're talking about like a steamroller, right?
no, I mean like a normal toilet paper roll, like a tiny, not like a paper towel roll, but like the toilet
Okay.
paper roll, like the tiny one.
Got you.
Yeah. So I remember them like lighting it, and I hit it, and I coughed, and was like, ugh, and just hit it again and coughed, and dude, I was so high, and at that time, with me having ADHD, weed gave me like energy. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
my sister and all them were high and like super chill, and I'm like bouncing off the walls. I remember like riding my bike home and like riding with no hands, like leaning on the handlebars, like with no hands, like kind of looking like, Jack from Titanic, but like there was no, I don't think Titanic had even happened yet, that movie. But like,
Right.
so like I was just like, oh man, I'm Batman, fucking Batman. It was like, dude, was super stoked, and I got home. I remember I got home and I opened a bag of ramen and didn't even cook them and just started pouring the powder onto the ramen and was like eating it. And my mom instantly knew because my parents at that time they smoked still kinda. They know what
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
smelled like. My sister, she
A
was
hundred
like
percent.
2 years older than me, so like I think my sister was like 12, 13. So
They knew she was fucking up.
yeah, of course, already.
I
And like I just told on myself, like, and I didn't even get in trouble. Like they just knew.
like that. I like. See, I wish. Dang. Okay. I like that. I like the ending, and I also like the fact, like, I like the camaraderie of and you and her being a part of your first time smoking.
Yeah, dude. Like she was like my parents weren't even mad about it.
No, no, very
I remember that
understanding.
the only thing that I remember about like doing shit when I was a kid, right? like my parents
Yeah, yeah.
finding out is if I did like drinking or like smoking like that, if I did it away from the house,
Right, that's when it became a
that's when
problem.
it was a problem because they were like, if you're
For
gonna
sure.
fucking do it, like I'm not telling you to do it here, but
But I'm
for
damn sure not
safer,
telling you to go out there and
if you're
do
doing it
it.
out there, you're gonna fucking get in trouble, and then you're making me look bad. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, okay, I'm
100%.
not trying to make my parents look bad. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not gonna like
Eh,
get anybody else in trouble. So we just tried to do everything at the house as a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
My parents
That's
like
yeah.
lived a pretty, you know, pretty much got to do whatever I want as a child. Like I didn't have very much supervision. Parents work third
Right.
shift, if you know what that is. So
Yeah.
like while I'm at school, you know, my parents are sleeping, and when I come home from school, they were going to work. Like
Exactly.
my sister was babysitting us whenever I was in kindergarten.
Yep, and sharing fucking weed with you.
Yeah, because my sister was older than me, and her friends were older than theirs. So if my sister's 2 years older than me,
It's the trickle effect.
her friends are 2 years older than her. That means they're 4 years older than me.
Right, right.
And of course, you know, at those
And
times, the older kids hanging out with the younger kid, they're like, "We're gonna make the young kid do everything." Blah blah blah.
for sure.
That was me.
And honestly, when you think about that, that probably paved the road for you to be, you know what I mean, to hang out with people who are older as well,
Yeah,
right?
always. Yeah, because I was always around older people. I was like, you know, just kind of how it was, you know, like with us meeting. You were like the youngest, and I was like, fuck all these kids, but you were the oldest. So it's like, even though you were the
Yeah.
youngest, you were still the oldest out of like even my group of friends. I'm like, yo, that's why for the longest I was like, wait, how old are you? Wait, oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, you're 14? That's weird.
Was it? No, hold on.
You were
I
13,
want to be
14?
honest.
Were you 13?
I want to say, I want to say that I know for a fact that we smoked weed on my 14th birthday together. So for sure we knew each other before that.
Yeah,
For sure. So it had to be somewhere in the 13 range.
yeah.
Yeah, because I moved down here. Yeah, I moved down here when I was, I think, 11. So that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And like, you know, it's like the same thing. Like when I hung out at that time, I was like, all my older friends was like Corey and like all of those dudes. So like I was the youngest one out of all of them. They were all old enough to like drink and like in their 20s, and like I was 18, 19, you know, and still
Yeah, yeah.
doing everything that they were doing. They would just be like, he forgot his ID, you know, because there would be
Right.
like six people that are of age, and then like me, they would just, or they would, dude. There was a few times because you remember
That's a
how
proven. That's a proven thing.
I don't, oh man, I'll never forget the time because of how, at that time, of how big Corey and Alex were and Justin, they smashed me in between them, like going in a line somewhere. They smashed me to the
Yeah.
left of them, and I hid beside both of them and walked into a fucking bar.
Smooth
snuck
criminal. You know what
snuck
I mean? Just
right into it
straight
because I
in.
was smaller than both of them. Like both these dudes are over 300 pounds, and I'm just like,
Yeah. You know, it's crazy how little. Like, it's crazy how many times you're fucking. Not even a fake ID, because I never used a fake ID.
I did
Anytime
for
I went
millions of
anywhere with
years.
you, yeah. But what worked for me, which was so weird, was just using your ID when you were already there.
Yeah, that's a you know
Like,
on that's what we were talking about like on the last episode. So like you know that was just also another just crazy moment. Like I guess like in a staple of history because like I went in, used the ID, passed the ID back. Same thing with
in front, like,
Lil Zach got that ID taken away.
Yeah, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because he tried to use it. He tried to use it when we went to the Orpheum one time, and he was like 18 maybe, and I was like, "Yo, you could probably try to use my ID." And Mud, of course, the dude at the door that was always there, the big dude, he told Zach,
Yeah.
he was like, "Let me see your ears." And Zach was like, "What?" And he was like, "Let me see your ears." And of course, Zach's height, you know, to the guy's height was not the fucking same. Zach's obviously over 6 foot, and the guy was like my size.
For sure. Do you
Have you?
remember the name on that?
No, I don't. I think it was like Brandon.
It was something so fucking stupid.
Yeah, the dude was from Sarasota. Shout out to
Yeah,
that
it was a
dude.
real guy.
Yeah, shout out to that dude. Because of him, man.
The countless times.
Dude, so many times that I bought beer. So many. You know how many tabs I ran up with that fucking thing?
And just dipped.
Dude, I was trying to tell people about this the other night. About how when I was younger and like the prepaid credit cards first came out, and I was just like, all right, guys, let's go party tonight. And I would put like 50 or $60 on the prepaid card, order a couple
Yep.
drinks, be like, here's the card, this is the tab, run the tab up. All right, guys, we got to dip. What?
We got to get the fuck out of here.
Go out the back. We're just gonna slowly move out. Like just go out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
smoke cigarettes and then just leave. Take your drinks outside with you. Leave your fucking drinks. Why? Well, who's paying the tab? I thought you were. Oh, here's the thing about that.
A lot of this money I don't actually own.
No. Like, see, here's the thing: is the first round of drinks was totally paid for. The past
I
4
had it.
rounds, I mean, y'all are more than welcome to pay for them if you would like.
Y'all are also more than welcome to stay here
Yeah.
if you like. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing.
I am leaving.
Yeah, 100%. Ouch.
I'll tell you what,
I remember. Go ahead.
I do not miss sticky shoes from the bar. You ever just walk into a bar and you got to take a couple steps and you're just stuck to the fucking floor?
Depends what kind of bar.
Yeah, see, I used
For
to,
sure, I could see it happening.
dude, I used to go to all the dive bars, biker bars, dude. Whenever I rode with that club that I was in, we went to some bars. Like we went to some bars on waters and some
Yeah.
and some strip clubs out there.
Sketchy scenery.
I think that one's called like the Seven Seas or some shit. Yo, it was one of the homies' birthday. They let him put his motorcycle on the stage and let us take photos.
Nice. Shout out to the. You said it was the Seven Seas?
I think that's what it's called.
Yo, shout out to the Seven Seas Strip Club out there just wilding.
Dude, they
Just
listen, if you have money, you can do whatever you want at a strip club.
also, if people think you have money.
Yep.
If you can just be convincing enough to make people think you have money, you can get away with a lot of shit in a lot of places.
Ooh, speaking of bars and strip club drama, follow one of my homies. She's a bartender at this big club down in the Miamis.
Okay.
I guess one dude comes in. She's just like blasting him like you don't tip this, that, and the other, and it's like, a lot of people they will go to the club and like they won't tip the bartenders, but they'll tip these bottle girls. You know what I mean? And
Right.
who's making the
Right.
Who's making the drinks?
Yeah.
And he was, and the dude was,
100%.
and the dude was upset. Like, oh, I thought we were friends. She was like, we stopped being friends when you stopped tipping me. And he's like, I bought friends, and she's like, how come you give these girls hundreds, but you don't pay the bar? She's like, you don't tip the bar. And I told her, I was like, isn't that where all the drinks come from? She goes, yes. And I was like, exactly. Like anybody that orders a drink, I was like, that's rude, dude. Like
Yeah, 100%.
that was
But you know what that also is? That's him being stupid enough to think that the difference that the difference that the bartender is behind the bar and the bottle girl is on the floor is that difference that he'll be going home with them. That's like, you know what I mean? That's what's going on in his
it's like,
head,
oh well,
which
that's
is
my homie over there. And that's another thing too. People play that homie card. They think that like just because you're homies, like they uh don't have to tip or they don't have to pay for things or
or that they can borrow stuff.
they can borrow stuff. Oh no.
It's always somebody who wants to borrow something will be like, man, like they'll always explain to you how close y'all are before they try to borrow some shit from you. Like, especially if they know y'all aren't cool, they'll be like, man, you remember that fucking time, you know? That shit got crazy. I had to give you a ride home. It was late as fuck. I didn't care. I could borrow $45. It's like, what?
Like, wait, what?
You
Like
just charged me to tell me a
first of
story?
all, you didn't even come and get me. Your sister came and got me. I called her. You were just in the car.
And she was driving for Uber at the time, so she got paid.
Yeah, like, but it was my sister though. You know, it was my sister.
Well, yeah.
You
People
know,
are
I've
wild,
had
man.
people pull that card like, well, it was my family member who did it. It's like, so, but that ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, I don't care. Like, so, but I know them. It's like, I don't care. You're not them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
know them. I don't know you.
100%.
Listen, you go get them. You bring them back.
Have you ever borrowed something and then not been able to return it?
Oh, I'm trying to think
I
about.
have. I have. I'm so bad with this. I'll say this right now. Never let me borrow
I don't.
anything that
I
you
don't think.
care about.
I don't think I've ever borrowed anything from
I
anybody.
borrowed. Do you remember back when Zune came out? The like MP3 player. It was
Dude,
like a
I had one
thick
of those. It
iPad
was a
or like a thick iPod.
yeah, it was a Windows one and it only worked with Windows.
Yeah,
It was a pain in the
yeah.
fucking ass. Yeah, I remember.
So I borrowed one from this person in this was high school. It was my freshman year. So I borrowed this Zune and it was brand new. And the agreement was you could borrow it to the end of the day. Cool. So I left. I remember leaving school like 3, 4 periods in, whatever. I catch a ride with Bruce Leroy. We get the fuck out of there. Shout out Bruce Leroy. So then I was such an asshole. Don't ever let me borrow shit. I wouldn't do it now, but back then I did this. I wiped out
this is high
all her
school you.
music, right? I
You
wiped out
wiped out.
everything that she had on there. Yeah, fuck this playlist, right? Everything's off.
Fuck this place.
And and dude, I filled it up with like 3,000 Lil Wayne songs, right? Just fucking every Lil Wayne song that existed back then
Dude,
got
know
put
how
on this.
long it took her to load that thing?
Dude, I do because I had to delete it all. It took forever. It took like 8 hours to delete it.
Dude, and
Like no bullshit. I had to
at that
delete the
time,
shit
loading
overnight.
shit on an MP3 player took
So
fucking
then,
forever.
so cut to the next day at school when she's like, "Yo, I need my Zune," and I was like, "You're not gonna believe this. The school took it because I was listening to it in class. They took it. It's up front."
So wait, you so at this point,
I just fucking diverted the whole
at this
situation away
point,
from me.
at this point, you're stealing it.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying,
so
right?
wait, so wait, hold
And
on.
I'm
Did
not
they take
saying
it?
that
Did
what
the
I did
school
was okay.
did the school take it after you loaded the 3,000 Little Wayne songs?
So this is what happened. The school did not take it. They had no part in the disappearance of it. Um, the school did get involved whenever she went up there and said, "Hey, y'all took a Zune from him. Where is it?" And they were like, "We didn't take any Zune from him. We don't have any Zunes up here." And then her parents are like, "Where the fuck is her Zune that we just paid $300 for?" Um, so being a being the person I was, then I did what I had to do. I did what I thought was the right thing, and I got rid of it. And I sold it for $100, and I bought like 2 ounces of weed
So,
back then.
so, so wait,
And
what happened? What happened to the bird? What happened with the? Did they just say, "Ah, fuck it, you don't have to pay for it," or they just forgot about it, or?
no, so I remember getting called up to the office, and I knew I was like, oh, they're gonna try to get me, and they definitely tried to get me. Emptied my backpack, searched my locker, but it was gone. You know what I mean? Like they had what they didn't know, and this was me the whole time. When they asked me, "Hey, what'd you do with her Zune?" She never let me use her Zune. And then when she was like, "Hey, they took your Zune," yeah, they took it. You know what I mean? Like I just played both sides for so long, and it
That
just like disappeared.
devil's
Now I'm not saying it was
advocate?
a good thing. I definitely had karma on me for that. I've been robbed. I know how shit goes. I didn't rob this person, but I did do that shitty thing.
You
So
stole it.
I sold it. I sold it. I
Okay.
didn't steal it. I sold it. And then I bought some
Well,
weed,
okay. So technically, it's not stealing
allegedly.
because you had permission to use it.
Here's the other thing. Back then, anybody, for sure, she knew better. You know what I mean? Like, you knew better than to give it to me. You knew
She
better.
obviously thought that, like, you know what, Joriel's a nice kid.
Nah, you knew you weren't getting it back. Not then. Not then. I'm sorry. You knew you weren't going to get it
Maybe
back.
she just wanted to test the waters.
Her boat, Titanic.
Yeah, it totally sank. Then you bought
I
some
also
dirt.
borrowed.
Then you bought some
I
dirt weed.
borrowed. I borrowed a girl's skateboard. It was Element. It was a Bam Margera Element board. This was back in probably like 2004, 2003 when these boards were popping. So
Yeah,
I borrowed this board. I skated with it. I didn't steal it. I broke it on accident. I was ripping. I shred.
shred.
I broke
Okay.
it. I returned it. I returned her the deck, but I I took the trucks and I put them on another deck so I could continue to skate, right? But I gave her the broken deck in return. Okay, so I'm at a gas station on Shepherd Road, skateboarding. A truck pulls up. I'll never forget. This dude gets out the car. I must have been maybe 12 or 13. This dude the size of like The Rock now. You know what I mean? Like this dude was back in the early 2000s. He was big as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he gets out the truck and he goes, "Where's my daughter's skateboard?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "You have her skateboard." And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't. I gave it back to her." He was like, "Yeah, but it's broken. So now I need to take your skateboard." This really happened. I had people with me that I'm not gonna name. This dude in front of this gas station in the daytime, like 2:30. This dude did not give a fuck, and I respect him because he was doing this for his kid. He fucking
You would do the
takes
same.
the skateboard, 100%. He takes my skateboard, which again had her trucks and wheels and everything on it. It had somebody else's deck on it. Not only did he take my skateboard, he took the other three skateboards that were sitting there with the homies that I was with. He took
What?
everybody's skateboard,
What?
right? This dude didn't give a fuck. He put all the skateboards in the back of his truck, and they fucking drove off. No bullshit. So, cut to 3-4 hours later. We find out where the girl lives. We find out where the guy lives. This dumb ass did not take the boards out the bed of his truck that night. We drive by. His truck was outside. I look. All 4 fucking skateboards are right there. We took our goddamn skateboards back and we fucking left.
What?
And the craziest part is how we got there is we told my mom that we left our skateboards at this person's house and we needed to go there to get our board.
Oh shit.
So like we
Secret
weren't really
mission.
sure how this was gonna go down. But it literally worked out. We all got our skateboards. Never heard shit about it. Don't steal, kids. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't take shit that don't belongs to you. And if you borrow it, just give it back.
And if you break it, you gotta replace it. That's why when I hit the dude, I got in that car accident a few months ago.
Yeah.
When I did that, and I was like, "Look, dude, I'm gonna pay for. You know what I mean? Just go to the body shop. Whatever they say, I'll pay for it."
Yeah.
I could have got away. I could have drove off, and dude would have never fucking known.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah, you gotta be a good.
Gotta
person.
be good. Gotta be good to. You gotta be good to good people, and you gotta be good. Honestly, even to bad people.
Yeah.
You're not doing no good by being bad, even to bad people.
No, it's like that saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, join them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an old saying.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Lil Wayne song, he goes, "If you can't beat them, then you drop them."
Oh, true. Okay.
If you can't man them, then you mop them.
Ooh, let go.
And you pop them because we pop them like Orville Redenbacher. Fucking lyricist.
Dude, I think he has like a degree in English, doesn't he?
Orville?
No, Lil Wayne.
Oh. Would you say that? Do you think Lil Wayne has a degree?
I think it was said. Now I think it might be from like the University of Phoenix or somewhere like that. But
I mean, honestly, a degree is a degree.
Yeah, you had to pass the test to get it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't true though. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lie.
I don't know. See what the comments have to say. Comments, let us know if Lil Wayne has a degree and what his degree is.
Also, let us know if he's in your top 5 of all time.
Does he still say that he's the best rapper alive?
No, like fuck man, his more recent interviews when they're like, "Who's your top 5?" He's not in it. You know what I mean? He literally says all the time, "I would never put my." He even says, "I wouldn't put myself up there with Jay-Z." Like that's out of his mouth. Now, granted, that's being modest for sure. Like, I mean, that's all. I guess it's subjective as well, because like a lot of people do think Jay-Z's a better rapper. Personally, for me, if I can only listen to one, I'm gonna take Lil Wayne's catalog over Jay-Z's.
100%.
But that's just
But also,
I understand why people put Jay-Z up there as well.
But also, I feel like
I wouldn't say he's in mine, Jay-Z.
I would also say that there are 2 different genres of rap. Like they're like they're both hip hop, they're both rap, but like they're 2 different sounds. Like
Jay-Z's that Bronx, New York,
yeah.
Brooklyn, like yeah. And then Lil Wayne is very like South.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. But then that breaks up all of hip hop into subgenres of East Coast, West Coast.
metal has all the subgenres. Why doesn't hip hop have the subgenres? How many subgenres there are to metal? Oh my god,
No,
dude!
it does. No, for sure. I think rap definitely has subgenres, but I don't think when people break down like who's the best, I don't think it's debated on like from what side. But I see what you're saying. Like there could be, yeah, like there could be an all South, a Northwest, a East and West. I mean, that's what it was in the '90s with Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah,
It was East Coast versus West Coast,
yeah, but
and then Outkast came out, and they were like, "We're representing the South."
yeah, but also like Tupac came from the
What do you mean?
like Tupac was from the East
Define
Coast.
came from the East Coast.
He's from the East Coast and then went to the West Coast.
Yeah, for sure. Is that true? Hmm.
Yeah, because him and Biggie were like friends. They were like homies.
Yeah, like they were real cool.
Yeah, and then some
What?
shit popped off,
What?
and then he thought it was like his friends, and then it wasn't, and then how the media portrays shit, and then he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna release this song anyways, even though I wrote the song before you even got shot. And he was just like, wait, what? And it's just like
Timing is everything.
it literally tore a friend. Like when you really look at it, it's like a friendship that was just torn apart like
Yeah,
by
one
the
hundred percent.
media, by money and media. Like people don't really look at it; they just look at it as this like music story. And I'm like, nah, look at it like they were friends, like they were homies, like. And he was like trying to keep all this shit from happening, and like the media, like I'm not blaming the media, but like a media had a lot to do with it because. Like say like even when you are famous and like you say you didn't even say something and a news says you said it, the whole world is going to say you said something and you're just like, yo, I did not do that. Like, what are you talking about? And it's like your word
Right.
against theirs. And it's like, even if like you and a person have an agreement or an argument over a phone and the media gets a hold of it, like it's something totally different. And now then y'all two are like battling the media while battling each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you got like, like Tupac had Suge Knight, you know, and then Biggie had P Diddy, Sean Puff Combs, like in his ear. So like both of them had these two people like wanting to make money off of them. So they were like,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know. But at the end of the day, we all should thank my man Vanilla Ice. He's the one who if Suge Knight wouldn't have took all that money for him, Suge Knight wouldn't have had the money to pay for Death Row. And people forget about that too. And like
All from that fucking Ice Ice song.
he took all that money from him and used it.
Suge was like, every time that song gets played, we're getting 99.9%.
Yep, and then hung him over a balcony.
Yeah?
He denies it, but you know what I mean. I
Of course
listen.
he denies it. He's
Whenever
fucking. That's why he's in prison.
you're also talking about a guy who denied running a guy over multiple times on
When it was
camera.
on camera. Yeah. And he didn't give a fuck.
No.
Like, yeah. The Tupac and Biggie thing definitely shifted, like, it shifted music into what it is today. Because, like, realistically, would Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg is definitely one of the greatest of all time in history, not music. I'm talking about as a person. Like, this dude has found a way to just be himself
Yeah.
every day of his life and make a fucking $1 billion.
Yeah.
So, but would that have been the same had Tupac and Biggie not turned into what that was?
Well,
Like that's the thing.
the beef is what blew them up. The beef back and forth is what blew
I'm
them
saying the
up.
murders.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying the murders.
So like if the murders wouldn't have ever happened and the beef would have just got squashed, it would I feel like it would have just played out like how any other rap beef goes away. You know what I mean? Like, these rappers
Just
they
died.
beef, yeah. And then now with like the
No.
internet, like I do wonder, like how many more albums would they have put out, or how, you know what I mean? Like when were their hits gonna stop? Like, did they have more albums? Like,
Right. Because we're talking about like, especially like Biggie, we're talking about a dude who only put out 2 albums.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like literally was only famous for about 3 years. Like
hmm
that's
both of them.
so yeah. Tupac definitely had a longer run. And I think Tupac was more no, you know what? I who would you say worldwide back then? Who do you think was like more favorited as a whole? Tupac or Biggie? Because when you think about them, you're putting like if you're thinking on
At
a global
the
scale,
at the
main hit
time, at the time, I would probably say Biggie.
because of what? Like hypnotized,
Just because of
juicy,
I think mainly.
juicy changed the world.
Well, here's the thing though. Biggie was like this happy dude, you know what I mean? It was a little more glamour to him, and Tupac was like political and a
Yeah, yeah,
poet. So you know what I mean? And like people like he spoke his mind. He said what how he felt, and a lot of people didn't like that. So like the media
yeah,
really like didn't like him, and a lot of people didn't like him for that. But you know there was other people who did like him for that.
yeah.
You know, and like I think at the time I would probably just say Biggie was a little more favorited because he was like, you know, he had the whole story, the whole story. You know what I mean? Came
Right.
from nothing to something, and now look at his life. And then he had fucking Puff Daddy with him. You know how Puff Daddy was doing it, and like, you know what I mean? The '90s, like everything, the biggest of big, like gold, big, 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 like and he was. You have to understand, this man was like, "How much did that Guns N' Roses video cost? We want to spend more than that," and then that was
Right.
hypnotized. Talking like
Would
over
you say that?
$1 million for a video just because he found out that Guns N' Roses did it. You know?
Right. Yeah. Wow. Especially back then, we're talking about $1 million video back then, 95, 96.
That would be like how much money that'd be now?
Hypnotize is Tupac's Keep Your Head Up, right? Would you agree? Like Juicy is Tupac's Changes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's probably a better comparison.
yeah. This changes was pretty good.
Changes was that's
Oh
that's a
no,
banger.
no,
Like,
I
when that
would
comes on, that doesn't get skipped.
hypnotized. Hypnotized is Tupac's California,
California Love. California. Yep. Okay. Yep.
because that was a
Yep.
big video that.
Yep. And then obviously, Who Shot Ya is Tupac's Hit 'Em Up.
Mm-hmm.
What song? Take money. Yeah. Fire.
Can we just bring back Nate Dogg? You know? Can we just
Yo, talk about somebody who is so respected that like nobody skips his song. You know what I mean?
No, you don't skip a
Like
Nate
you
Dogg
don't skip
song.
his song. It doesn't matter. You don't skip that shit. He gets that pass. He gets that player pass.
And I think it was mainly just because of like he was like almost like spoken word with like a little bit of harmony to it. Because it was never up here or way down here. It was just kind of like a little monotone.
Wait, who are we talking about
Nate
again?
Dogg.
Oh yeah, Nate Dogg. Okay, I was trying to figure it out and I could not remember who the fuck we're. All right. Whew. This bridge is getting burned to you by Skywalker OG.
Ooh, let's go.
Hmm.
I smoked some Oreo cookies.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, I can dig it. You see, how, mm, how far are you from Atlanta,
3 hours.
roughly?
3 hours.
3. So not bad.
Nope.
Do,
Tampa to Miami.
like doable
Tampa to
if
Miami. Yeah.
it was okay. Okay.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of just like a fucking
Wh-
straight shot down the old states of the interstates.
Right, for sure. I was thinking that we could do like a fucking like a like a overnight. Like if you were able to bring the equipment, we could do a overnight and like meet in Atlanta and
Mm-hmm.
do a live pod like
That
together.
that wouldn't be hard to do.
You know what I mean?
Man, that would not be hard to do at all.
That would be fun. Do something like that. That'd be cool.
Speaking of fun, I'm still like super pumped from the gym today. I got in there and
Mm.
I've been listen. I was like, you know what? I'll do 3 on, 1 on, 3 on, 2 off. Now I've just got it in my
Hmm.
head. I have to do 5 days a week, and I've been doing 5 days a week. And I'll tell you what. Today I was in the sauna, sitting there looking like my main man, muscles from Brussels, just looking at John Claude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Looking
thought,
like Thor over there. Yeah,
dude, I don't even know. This time I took a whole different route.
for sure.
Instead of like trying to lift heavy, I'm just doing a lot of light work.
Yeah, but like a lot of it.
Oh, oh yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like whenever I leave the gym, I can't like touch my arms like this.
Right.
And I've been doing legs before I leave too. Like before I
Oh,
leave the gym, I just go in there and just blast my legs.
oh,
Yeah.
hit that fucking that stair climber.
So I do that 5 minutes before I work out. Hit the
That
stair
stair
climber for
climber.
5 minutes, and then like I'll work out, and then before I leave, sometimes or in between my workout, I'll do a 5 minute run
Yeah.
to keep it going.
Hell yeah.
It was it was definitely one of those days. Like normally, like my third day, it's like, oh, I'm super pumped. And I'm like able to lift heavy, but then again, I'm like, I normally do like sets of 20. I'll get to like 16. And I'm like, I don't want to
What was Fixer Face there?
do.
Was Fixer Face there?
Huh? Yeah, yeah.
Different attitude, happy. She's
Uh,
stoked. She loves life.
I went to um her and uh, I guess like someone she's training went to walk by,
Mm.
and I was standing there like literally in their way, right? Just went to say hello to him. Dude, she like turned away from me and like looked the opposite direction, and I was like, okay, I give up. I don't, I
All I
don't,
wanted was the inspiration when I'm lifted.
like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't
It's a
understand.
shame, man.
I don't know.
People don't understand that the little things they do on a normal basis impact other people's lives and make it a
But
little better.
but
Like,
she was like hyped up, and I could hear her like yelling at the lady. So I was like, okay, cool. I got I
yeah,
got
yeah,
I got like I can still hear you yelling because
nice.
when I first started working out, I was working out with 3 people, and I had somebody to push me. Like every day, I had somebody to
Right.
push me, and I could push someone else. But like when you're by yourself, like you're just pushing yourself, and it's like a little bit easier to give up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're playing that mental long game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
whenever like having that trainer there yelling at other people and being excited, whenever I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, I'm fucking dying," and I see like her hyping people up, I'm like, "Okay, I got this. I got this.
Yeah.
I got this." But I guess I'm on my own. Guess, guess I'm on my own.
It happens. It all buff out.
Maybe what I'll
You know,
have to.
I love a good mushroom run.
Yeah.
Like just you know what I mean? Just a couple mushrooms and a nice like just a nice just a nice jog. Just a nice consistent jog.
Dude, I haven't had mushrooms in like 2 years, just because like last time I ate mushrooms, I had, a whole bunch of them, and I was tripping real hard. And something was just telling me, like, hey, you don't have to do this anymore. Like, this isn't, like, literally, like, this is not the way. But I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like microdosing is the route to go. Like, not using
For sure.
mushrooms to trip, but just a microdose, just like a little, just something. I feel like it would help with a few things that I need in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I honestly I don't see it being any different than like people who like get up and drink coffee in the morning to go work out or to go
Yeah.
start their day. Like
I
all seems the same.
definitely get super high before I go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like I have to. Like I have to be like really high when I go to the gym. Like I go in there super squinty eyes and I'm like, okay. And I'm focused. That's why when people are like,
Yeah.
oh, I drink pre workout, I'm like, yo, how are you focused? Like you're cracked out and focused? I don't think so. I don't think so.
At
and
all.
and then I'll see people like in the gym, and then they'll take their pre-workout whenever they just get to the gym. I'm like, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to take it before you leave your house. So by the time you get here, it's kicked in. Like you taking it now, and then you start working out. Like it's not gonna kick in until you start working out, and then after your workout, you're gonna feel cracked out.
But are you actually having these conversations?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, no. I just let these bros do their thing.
I love how I was convinced that this was an actual conversation.
Not an actual conversation. I mean, with myself when I'm standing there just watching
Yeah,
these
yeah,
kids
yeah.
eat pre-workout.
I like to do that. I like
Kid,
to when I'm places. I like to think about because I'll go eat by myself all the time, and when I do, I'll people watch and be like,
oh yeah, it's my favorite.
just imagine like if I did have an interaction, what they would probably say, and then what I would say to that.
This guy the other day, I'm like changing, and he opens his pre-workout, and he's like on the phone with his bud, and he's like, "Bro, bro, look at this stuff. Is this okay?" And I can hear his buddy, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's fine." He goes, "No, man. Whenever I opened this stuff yesterday, it was white. Now it's all gray. I don't think I should I should eat any of it." He's like, "Dude, I don't know." He's like, "It looks fine to me." He's like, "It was white yesterday." And I'm like, "Was it white yesterday, or did you just look at it in a light all weird, or like are you in a weird light now and it looks gray?" Like he was just going on. He's like, "I don't know, man. I just opened it yesterday. I don't know if I should eat it." And he's like, "Well, if I die, you know where I am." I'm like, if that's what you have to go through to be motivated to work out, like I feel so bad for you.
A pass.
I honestly, in my opinion, pre-workout is for people who don't have the motivation to work out, because once you take pre-workout, you don't have a choice but to work out.
For
You
sure.
ever took
Yeah,
pre-workout and
dude.
just sit on your couch? It's crazy, dude. Shit gets crazy.
Yo, that's the new challenge. While everyone's fucking off,
Yeah, just take some
That's what we're gonna
pre-workout,
start
like,
doing.
you know what I mean?
Do
Just
the
chilling with your buddies.
pre-workout and hang out. Pre-workout and watch a season of fucking the Ozark. That'd
Totally
be
legal.
wild.
Totally legal.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck. Add a bunch of niacin to it. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's what's in pre-workout. There's a lot of niacin in pre-workout. That's
They
why
add more to
that's
it.
that's why when people are like, oh, I feel like itchy whenever I take pre-workout, I'm like, yeah, that's the niacin, dude. That's your blood flowing.
There used to be this stuff. I know you know it. It was in a blue bottle. This was back in the day. It says don't drink more than half in a 24-hour period. It was some wild stuff. And I took it, but I drank the whole bottle. I didn't know what the fuck it was.
Was it that red
And
line stuff?
yeah,
Red line,
that
yeah. You can't, yeah, they don't,
that
yeah, as you think,
they
I did the same thing. I
no.
drank a whole bottle one time when I lived in Texas.
I drank a whole bottle,
I
and
thought I
I
was
was
gonna die.
driving. Dude, we were on our way to a show. I was driving the van with everybody, full of shit, and my legs felt like they were ants crawling up them. Is the best way I could describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I felt, and dude, I was bugging. I had to pull over. Devin had to drive the rest of the way. I did not like that shit.
Yeah,
Granted, they used it for the right purpose, I'm sure.
now, I mean, I still kind of like energy drinks. I don't drink them like I used to. Like when I was younger, I would just pound the energy drink, right? Like now,
Yeah,
if I drink like G Fuel or like Red Bull, I'll pound Red Bull because like it Red Bull has like the little cans that I get. They like have like 87 milligrams of caffeine. Like it's not even like that much caffeine. Like I just pretty much buy it for the taste. But like
right.
even like the bangs and all them that have like 200, 300, dude, when people slam those things, I'm like, how do you do it? Like that's a whole day thing for me. Like I'm sipping that thing throughout the day to keep me going. Like not because I'm not trying to feel cracked out on it. I'm just trying to sip a little bit just to keep me going through the day.
Right. What's your preference of like energy drink?
Oh man, when it comes down to it, I'd
Or
I-
like getting the job done?
I'd probably say those bangs.
The bang?
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
those bang like purple
I have
hazes.
one.
Those are
I don't
good.
drink any of that. I had a Red Bull for the first time when I started working at Hooters last year. When I was working out there, I had tried a Red Bull for the first time. And then I had drank the shit out of them for like 3 weeks. I was hooked on them because there was
Hmm.
a little fucking mini fridge and it was full of fucking all kinds of flavors. So
Yeah, just
all
trying
the
them
time,
all.
yeah, yeah, I'm just drinking them all night, cracked out.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the bangs and nah, I've never really. I think I tried. I think I think when I was up there, I think maybe Drew or maybe you, somebody had one, and it was like something wild. Like it was a crazy name.
It's like the unicorn one.
Maybe, yeah, it was something wild. And I tried it, and I was like, oh, there's no way. I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah, that's why I don't see how people can drink a whole bunch of it at one time. Like they're really sweet. Like they don't have any sugar or anything like that in them, but like it's a lot of flavor. It is like for real flavor town.
I prefer like, ooh, like an ice cold yoo-hoo out of a glass bottle. Ooh,
Dude, don't even get me started. Um, you know what? I need to
what?
I need to contact YooHoo. They're putting a little too much CO2 in their cans right now. Like their cans have too much
Yeah, fuck
CO2.
with the
Bro,
bullshit.
the other day, I didn't even shake it up. Like I pushed it, and the can was like squishy, no pressure. I was like, all right. In my car, fucking grenade, like it just exploded all over me, and I was like, what the fucked. And it was like, of course, you know me with my thighs out and my short shorts, it was just all over me. And I was like, all right, I had to go to the fucking store. And of course, like, you know, I chugged the Yoo-hoo per usual because that's what you do. You fucking just smash them right then and there. And then I was like standing at the pump, just like wiping the inside of my thighs off, looking like a fucking weirdo.
The problem is you're fucking with the cans, man.
Yeah, I need. Yeah, but they only sell the bottles in the 4-pack.
Fuck that. You gotta go for it because it's either glass bottles or fucking the boxes with the
How do you
straw.
feel about
Or I'm out.
How you feel about the straw, the boxes?
Fuck yeah. I smash those. I'll put it in the freezer for like 15 minutes, get it real cold because the
Mm,
cardboard, you know what I mean? I need it to be cold
yeah,
and then hit it with that straw and down the hatch, the whole
yeah.
thing. Squeeze it. Bob.
That's what I use for my protein shakes. Yoo-hoo,
I
some
don't know if
peanut
those taste
butter.
the same.
Huh?
I don't know if they still taste the same. I'm sure you've had this happened recently with you 100%,
Yeah,
right?
like 3 days ago, like this week. I think it was like this week or last week, something like that. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, there was no way that it wasn't within the last week for sure.
Yeah, and where I was driving to, like there was fucking nothing around per usual, and I was just like, oh, cool. I just gotta sit in this. I'm like reaching in my glove box. I'm like, not even gonna try to wipe it up. It's just gonna smear everywhere. So just gonna wait till I get to the
Would
gas
you
station.
say that it still tastes the same compared to like way back in the day? Because I know a lot of shit tastes different now.
Um, I would say
Definitely don't
the cans do for sure.
the cans.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think they've changed. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
I don't
try it.
think they're like
I
adding
like
hops or anything to the recipe. You know.
yeah, I like an ice cold you the glass bottle. You know what else I like? The Mexican Coca Cola
Yeah,
out the glass bottle.
those are really good.
Those are so good. They're worth it.
Um.
All the taco joints.
They
Oh, I
they
love a
sell
good
those
taco
in the
joint.
4-pack at the Walmart here.
The Cokes, but are they the Mexican ones?
Yeah, because they're the tall ones and they have like a different sticker on them.
Yeah. Yo, Mexican Coke is so good.
Do you like?
It's different. Like once you have it, regular Coke is bullshit. Once you have Mexican Coke,
Have you ever had? Do you wet your ice when you before you pour your Coke on it?
huh?
Yeah, yeah. You know about
No,
what having wet ice? You wet your ice
with what,
like wet. What else would you wet it with?
motherfucker? I'm trying to figure out this too. You know what I mean? Like wet it with water.
Yeah, just like a little bit of
Go melt the ice.
no, not melt it, just wet it.
Okay, just like hit it with the sink.
Yeah, just a little bit of wet ice and then pour your Coke on it.
Okay.
It's different, they say. I do it, and it is different.
Shut the fuck up.
Tastes so good, dude.
How is it different?
I don't know. I also have this theory of like it's a little.
I don't know.
It tastes different, dude.
No, I'll
You
do
gotta
it. I'll
try it.
try it.
You gotta try it.
Okay, I'll try it. But I'm not gonna be happy about the end
You know,
result.
make sure you have one with dry ice and one with
And
wet
you,
ice.
what do you mean dry ice? Like actual dry ice?
No, no,
What?
no.
Okay, so you're gonna make me explode my kitchen. All right, so I get 2 cups,
Mhm,
both with both with ice.
mhm.
One regular ice that I don't do anything to except put it in the cup. The other one, I hit it with some water, then put the ice in there, and then Coke, and then they're gonna taste different.
Mhm.
And the
And
one with the water is gonna be
yep.
better. Okay, I'll try it. But does it have to? Is this like a regular Coke thing?
I mean, you can do it with Mexican Coke.
Okay,
You can do
same,
it with
same.
Mexican Coke. It's the wet ice experience. That's
Really?
yeah. I'm not sure, but at first I said something about it because one of my homies did it who really likes Coca Cola, and then one of my other homies who likes Coca Cola. It's like, you don't do that, and I was like, no. And then I asked Kayla.
What do you mean you don't do
Yeah, they were.
that?
That's exactly how it was. They're like, what do you mean you don't wet your ice? I'm like, explain this wet ice. Like how
All
does
right.
one wet their ice without melting it? Like I was like, so
Right.
pour
That's
ice,
the first thing
pour
that went through
water in
my
the
head.
cup. They're like, no, 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 don't pour water. You just want to wet it. And I was like, okay, so we're just gonna wet the ice a little bit and pour it in. And I think is what happens is when you wet the ice, you like pretty much activate the ice and start making it colder. So when you start making it colder and you pour the Coca-Cola on it, it makes Coca-Cola colder. Now I have not done the temperature test yet. I ain't. I mean, I
Yeah.
almost won a science fair one time. Like
How about
almost. But I think it's
with
because
this?
no, oh no. No, my theory was, are you ready for this? You ready for this?
Let's go.
My whole deal was, what fills up the bathtub faster, the shower or the spigot?
Ooh, let's go.
Now, mind you, my mom was not happy about me doing this test.
For sure.
She was like, "You
I
could
mean,
have
if I
picked
had to
something
guess,
else."
I'm just basing this off of my water pressure, what I experience in my bathroom. I would say the spigot.
Yeah,
That's based on what I'm experiencing here.
yeah. It's
Okay.
the spigot because the shower head restricts water
So this
flow.
was your side project?
Yeah,
That's how we got here?
yeah. This is my science project.
Okay, what's the project
That was the project.
though? Nah, nah.
What are you talking about? Like that's the project is you have a hypothesis. Okay,
Okay.
you do
So
the
your hypothesis was
was what fills up the bathtub faster, the shower or the
what?
spigot? What are you talking about? These are real
Okay.
scientific questions. People want to know these things, dude. What do
So,
you never wondered
so
this when you were a kid? You're like, huh? If I want to take a bath, what's gonna fill up the tub faster?
no.
What kind of
You know why?
imagination did you have when you were a
You know
child?
why? Because I was fucking innovative. I would just turn the spigot on, and then I would go to the kitchen, put on the hot water, fill up a big ass pot, and then go throw that in the bathtub. Do three of those, and then it's done in like 4 minutes. I get shit done as a
So
kid.
so wait. So you would add water as it was filling up with another with the pot?
Okay, so hear me out. I would have a pot, and I would put the pot on. I would put the pot on the stove. This isn't weird. And I
Wait,
would
so it's
turn
a
the.
hot pot?
I'm gonna take a cold goddamn bath.
Hold on a second. Yo, you.
Okay, so I would turn on the bathtub, hot water, and
Okay.
then I would go to the kitchen with a pot, put it on the stove, fill it up with water, not boil it, but get it hot, throw it in the bathtub. I would do like three of those, and the bathtub would be full very quick. And it was fucking warm as fuck. The shit was a good idea, player.
Yo, did you
There's
ever
no way
did
not
you
a
ever
good idea.
think that like when you were turning on the cold water in the kitchen to fill up the pot that like it was turning the hot water cold in the tub?
Well, what? Well, hot plus hot doesn't equal cold. That's fucking math, bro.
Yeah, but if you turned on the water in the kitchen, like I don't know how your house was. Did your water get cold when somebody else turned on other water or flushed the toilet? Like, fuck, I never even thought
Couldn't
about
tell
this.
you.
Dude,
I couldn't tell
we
you.
just think so different. 'Cause that's what
But here's what I could
that's the
tell you.
first thing I would
Here's
have
what I
thought
could
of.
tell you.
Like,
I was
all right,
thinking
if I
about
do this, is that water gonna get cold whenever I turn on this water in here?
but what water?
The bathroom water.
But no, I wouldn't need the kitchen water to get cold because that's why I turned the stove on.
No, no, what I'm saying is like, like when you're taking a shower and somebody flushes a toilet or turns on the water somewhere, it fucking makes the
Uh huh.
shower cold if you have the hot water on.
Right.
So what I
That's
was
why
saying
I'm
was, did
I'm bringing the water to almost a boil before I put it in
that's
there.
but what I was saying was, did you think that like for like the 3 minutes that it took you to fill up that pot, that 3 minutes you were just dumping cold water into what you thought was supposed to be a hot tub full of water?
Nah, because it doesn't take 3 minutes to fill up a pot. When if we're gonna talk about numbers, then I mean, I could probably fill up a pot of water with my kitchen sink in probably 40 seconds or 37 seconds or less. Honestly, I think I could fill up this bowl in 37 seconds. Standard pot that I have.
Oh
So
man, I'm not part of that anymore. um,
part of what?
that whole like DGC thing. One of somebody, Daredevil Kitty comes, she's like, "Oh, DGC fam." I'm just like, I'm not part of that. Not good people. But so, are we doing science experiments now? Are we like filling up pods? See, like you said,
I'm
37
just saying,
seconds.
you got
You
a
said
timer.
37 seconds. 37. He's gonna go.
You got a timer.
Yeah. You are you timing this?
Are you timing it? I mean, my resources are in front of me, but I have a pot and I have water. 1, 2, 3, go.
Are you counting it out?
Nah, motherfucker, I thought you had a timer, a
Yo,
fucking
thank you for.
clock.
No,
You're
I was pulling
not
up.
doing
I was
what you're
pulling
doing. Are
up
you literally
the.
doing something? You were looking up what? How to
I was
fucking how to
pulling
count
up the
30
timer. It's not
Just
that
remember how
simple.
old you were last year. And it's full. Stop. Timer's over. That was less than 37. There's no way it wasn't.
Well,
There's
hello.
no fucking less.
Yeah.
So, my point exactly. Not 3 minutes to fill up a pot. It would take about 2 minutes in total
Okay. Okay.
to heat up a pot, to fill it up and heat it up.
I see
And
what
then
you're saying. I see what you're saying.
it was a well thought out plan. Basically, my science experiment kicked ass compared to yours. My
Yours wasn't
history
yours.
project.
Hold on a second though. Yours wasn't a science experiment. Yours was just a normal everyday like I need to take a bath type shit. And why were you if you were big enough? Hold on, let's talk about this. If you're big enough to use the stove and
Uh-huh.
this and all this, why the fuck are you taking a bath? Aren't you a little old to be taking baths?
Hold on, because when I was, let me see, six
I was
for
taking
sure. When I
showers.
was no, yeah, I was doing that. But I also took baths, man. I played with toys in the bath. Um, and also around these times, yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom was working third shift overnight in a fucking not a cash and carry. What was the
Sweet
supermarket?
Bay,
Uh, Food Lion.
Food Line.
Yep. Back in North Carolina, she worked in a Food Lion overnight, unloading
That's
the
true.
meat. Yep. So yeah, no, I was cooking. I know how to. I've been using the stove. I was making rice since I was
It, at some point, I had my mom like I wasn't allowed to take baths. It was an in and out situation, you know. You have to understand,
yeah, yeah.
if you let me take a bath, right? Not only
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna hang out till the water gets cold, But I'm also just going to run more hot water and let the cold water out till all the water's warm again. So 9 out of 10, I'm in the bathroom just using all the hot water, while
There's
everybody's.
no hot water when anyone needs a shower. Fuck everybody else in this house.
And so my mom knew that I didn't really want to take showers, so I wouldn't stay in there that long with a fucking shower. You can't play in a shower. You're just getting wet the whole time. Unless, you know what I mean, it's that G.I. Joe rain scene, and, like, you gotta climb up the wall, and,
For sure.
hide Ninja Turtles in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Lego.
Oh, shit. I'm high. Let's all get out.
Are you?
Shout out to that weed, man.
I'm about to roll another backwood.
You gonna roll another backwood?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll another backwood. Oh. Comfortable in my chair sometimes. When Rufus gets at my feet, I can't move, and I'm sitting with my feet oh, I'm totally talking.
I'll match you on your backwood. What about papers?
Oh yeah, because you already smoked that other blunt, huh?
Yeah, I smoked that joint. I smoked that blunt. I'm gonna roll another joint.
But if you want to, we can close this out real quick so I can edit the closeout into this dead space at the end.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm not closing my stream, but we're just gonna end the podcast just because so we can keep the audio.
Yeah,
so
no, that's
if
cool.
It sounds like we're leaving, we're not actually leaving.
Right.
I'm just trying to tell the chat so they don't, because there's times where I'm all right, I'm signing off, but it's just to for the audio part, and then I'll start saying it, and I'm no, I'm not actually leaving. I'm just.
There's a difference.
Yeah, and it's not like I can't mute it from the audio because that's where the audio goes.
Right.
All right, you want to sign us out?
Oh.
Episode 2.
This has been great. This has been fun. Episode 2. I'm fucking rich.
Dude,
we appreciate all the love.
This hour and a half just flew by.
Have we been doing this for an hour and a half?
Yep.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, y'all have kept us busy. Now it's time for us to fucking go back to work. This was a fun break, though.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of BERN'N BRIDGES.
And we're out.